I'm a sociologist of consumption, so I have a general interest in consumption, and I've been using the example of food as the point of research for a long time now. So I've looked at things like what people spend their money on, how much time they spend in eating and cooking and the like. I did a survey on eating out in Britain, so I know a lot about people's eating out activities. I compared recipes in women's magazines in the 1960s and the 1990s to try and work out how recommendations for eating well changed over time. I came originally to join an organisation called the Centre for Research on Innovation and Competition because it had a big programme of research including work on consumption, and since then I've worked with the Sustainable Consumption Institute, again on issues of consumption and doing work with food as a principal example. One of the things we've been doing with the SCI is a survey of eating habits and eating behaviours of the British population, when they eat, what they eat, who they ate with, in an attempt to try and get some kind of an accurate picture of what people do in the normal course of daily life, in order to evaluate some of what I consider to be the myths of the bad, morally reprehensible eating behaviour of the British population. The evidence that we have suggests that things aren't falling apart in quite the way that the myth suggests. It is mostly trying to find out as accurately as possible kind of what people do, for reasons they do it, so that the public and policymakers can have information which can inform their views, their activities and their practices. Intellectual collaboration is very important. I mean, the field of food studies is an interdisciplinary one by definition, stretching from biology to agriculture to social norms and ways of eating. So I would always expect to work with people from other social sciences mostly, but even possibly with people from agriculture and food production systems. Some of my current research compares Britain to France, and France has a particular reputation for a food culture. It is interestingly different. So one of the things that's happened in Britain is the amount of time people have spent eating has declined over the past 30 or 40 years, whereas in France they're still eating for as long as they ever were. So France has a different kind of culture of eating, a set of rituals around the meal, for instance, which doesn't seem to exist in Britain, even though there's quite a lot of convergence between the British food system and the French food system.